Hi, and welcome to episode 6 of the Rideau Knits knitting podcast. My name is Cassie, and I am a knitter coming to you from just south of Ottawa, Ontario, Canada, where I live with my husband and our dog, Shadow. This is my little corner of YouTube where I can share about all the things that I've been knitting. I do a little bit of spinning, sometimes crochet, and sometimes some sewing, but that hasn't been happening very often lately. And it's just really a place to share what I've been doing. I'd love to see or hear what other people have been doing, get a little bit of inspiration and things like that. So thank you for watching this episode. Welcome if you are a new viewer, and welcome back if you are a returning viewer. It makes me super happy to see people that keep coming back. And let's get started. So what I'm wearing today, I'm not actually wearing any knitwear, but I am wearing a knitwear related shirt. This is a sweatshirt. It's a Stitch Witch, and it's just a thin sweatshirt that I got from Tiffany of Twill and Print. And she is a bag maker. She makes enamel pins, progress keepers, stitch markers, sweatshirts, and has just started dyeing yarn as well from Montreal, Quebec, which is not too far away from me, but still not super local. So I have tons of stuff from her. I bought this sweatshirt, I think it's a 2XL. I bought it bigger so that it would continue to fit while I got bigger from pregnancy. And I love it. It's so comfortable. I wear it all the time. And it's just great. I will link everything that I talk about in the description box below, and I'll include links to her shop as well as her Instagram account. Then what I have on the hanger back here. So this is a test knit that I did last summer. Possibly. This is the Bellis Tee, and it is a super cute t-shirt designed by Lerka of Fiber Tales. And I was really lucky to get to test this, and I love it. The only thing I wish is that I wish I had made the body a little bit longer, because it is super cropped. There also should be buttons on this button placket. I just haven't found buttons that I like yet. So this is knit out of a cotton linen blend of, I think it calls for, I'm pretty sure the pattern calls for a fingering weight, but I used a sport weight and I got the same gauge. So I went ahead and used that. And I used Juniper Moon Farms in the Zoe base, which is a 60%, let's see if you can see that, 60% cotton and 40% linen blend. And it does get kind of, I don't know if you can really see it, thick and thin in areas. But I loved working with this yarn. I thought it was great. And I love the finished product. It's very drapey, it's very soft, and I like layering it over like a dress in the summer, because it is pretty cropped. I wouldn't wear it just as it is. And the color I used is color 01, which is Sea Salt. A little focus, there we go. And yeah, I really loved it. I love all of her designs, and have a couple in my queue to knit up soon. So that was that. Let's get into what I've been doing in the past like week and a half. I think that's how long it's been since I recorded. It gets all weird when I wait, and it feels weird to start recording again. I feel really awkward. So I do have a finished object, which is exciting. And it is my socks for my mom. And I started knitting these socks last week, 2 weeks ago maybe. Let me check my notes. 2 weeks ago, I started knitting them in episode 5, so the last time I recorded, and now I have 2 finished socks. And again, the ends are not woven in. I still count them as finished. Ends are not woven in. I am going to sit down maybe tonight, maybe this weekend, and batch do a whole bunch of ends that I haven't woven in yet. So these are the socks. And I love them. They're so bright and fun, and my mom loves them, which is what really matters, actually. I don't have my blocker with me. I'll probably go grab it. So you can see the sock better. So this is what it looks like. I love, love, love this yellow yarn. And I have enough that I'm gonna make a pair of socks for myself as well with the leftovers. So I used 2 different yarns. The cuffs and toes are done in Sandnes Garn Sisu. There we go. And the colorway is 1088. And it is, what is it, an 80-20 blend? An 80-20 wool nylon blend. And it is a Norwegian yarn. And I just had this left over in my stash from knitting my Zweig pullover. And then the body of the sock, the main color that I used, came from this cake. It's all floppy and wonky now. And that is Hello Stella on her basic Stella base. So here is her label. And it is on her basic Stella base, which I can't even see, is an 80-20 as well, and it is in her Heliodor colorway. And this came as part of, or it was included in her prismatic collection, and I think I bought all of the colors, and I love them all. They're all bright and super fun speckles, and I might make socks out of all of them. I was going to make a blanket originally, but I am pretty sure I'm just gonna make socks for myself, my mom, my sister. So what I did for this sock is just a basic vanilla sock. It is a 64 stitch sock on 2.25 millimeter needles, which is a US 1, I believe. I always use the metric millimeter measurement. And I did a slip stitch, heel flap, and gusset, but what I did on the edges was I did 3 stitches of garter before I started the slip stitch. And I think it just adds something a little more interesting. I hate doing a heel flap and gusset. I don't like knitting it. I don't think it's fun. I'd much rather knit like an afterthought heel or something like that, but I find that they don't fit as well, so that's why I keep doing heel flap and gussets, even though I don't like knitting them. And then the toe is just a basic wedge toe, and they whipped up pretty quick, and I love them. My mom is gonna love them. I know. She watches. Hi, Mom. As soon as I can see you and Dad, you will both get your pairs of socks. So I have to get the ends woven in on those. Yeah, there's the second one, not on the blocker. I love the speckles. All these like purple, super fun purple speckles in there made it so enjoyable to knit. And they were living in this bag. It is just a square zippered pouch, and that is from Camp Yukon. I will tag her shop in the description box below. I love these like gold accent octopi on there. That totally sold me as soon as I saw this on her Instagram. I'm pretty sure I saw it as a drawstring bag or a zippered bag like the other one that I have. But when I went to try and get it, she only had these ones in this fabric, which is fine with me. I love it. It fits a sock perfectly, or a pair of socks, like a sock project, perfectly. So I like using that. My skein fits in there, or my cake fits in there pretty well, and it can stay in there and I can just pull from in the bag, which is awesome. And that was it for things that I finished. I've been doing a lot of knitting, but mostly on bigger projects, so I didn't finish, I only finished those socks and my whips. So first thing I worked on is my Forager sweater. This is a sweater pattern by Melody Hoffman of Bee Mandarines. And it is just a basic, I'm all tangled, basic top-down raglan using unspun yarn held double with a strand of mohair. So my cord is way too short on this to show it properly. And this row counter is where I was last time. So I've done this much and it should go like this. So I am still working on increasing for the chest and sleeves. I haven't split for the sleeves yet. And what I am doing is I'm holding a strand of this pencil roving. I got this for free. I have no idea what it is, where it came from. If you can get it, I got it from a storage unit clean out that my husband's uncle helped with, and he gave all of the yarny things in there to me, which was great. It comes in a plate that looks like, try not to lose everything, that looks like this, and I'm pulling from the center. So I'm alternating right now to kind of blend the two plates together so I don't have like a super harsh line if the colors aren't perfectly the same. And I'm also using one strand of silk mohair. And I did this last week too. I don't remember what the mohair is. I think it's Rowan Kid Silk Haze. And it's just white. I'll put the details for this in the description along with the pattern or my project page that has that information. I'm using the called for needles, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle for the body. And because my cord is not long enough, it's getting very fiddly to move the stitches around. So I didn't work on it as much as I probably should have. And I have a lot more increasing to do, so I know it's gonna fit. It's not gonna fit as well on these needles. So I think I should order a needle with a longer cord. These are on, right now it's on my Knit Picks interchangeables. I only have two sizes. I have the 4.5 millimeter and the 3.5 millimeter for these needles, and I only have two cable lengths. And this is the longest one. It's not long enough. And shipping Knit Picks to Canada takes a little while and is kind of expensive in shipping costs. So I'd rather just support a local yarn store, order a new set of needles from there. And that is living, or outgrowing, spilling out of my bucket bag from Tiffany at Twill and Print. So it is a waxed canvas bucket bag. She screen prints the patterns on the canvas herself, and it's got, oh, here's her logo. It is a fantastic size. If you want, you can pull it and it'll drawstring, and there's pockets on the inside, all around the inside edge. And I love her bag so much. I really want to get another one of these. But that'll have to wait. So that is living in there. The other whip that I'm working on, I don't think I showed last week. So I am currently working on a little baby pullover for my baby that is coming very soon. So this is what the sweater looks like. I don't want to show the pattern. And it is coming out of this 60 quick knit baby knits. That is a Cascade. All of the patterns in here are designed for Cascade 220. But I am using a different yarn for that. So this is what it looks like so far. I am working on the back panel, and this little marker here is where I was last time I showed it. So this marker is super cute. It is, flip back, there we go. It is this little floral. It is from, I got it from Hello Stella, but I'm pretty sure it was done by Hello Lavender. They collaborated for her Knitterary Society. Possibly the Little Women collection, I believe. I think that you can still get some on her website, so I will link it below. So it's just a simple cabled little sweater. I'm knitting the 6 to 9 month size. It only comes in 2 sizes, 6 to 9 months and 12 to 18 months. So next winter, baby should be between 6 and 9 months old. If it's a little bit too big, that's okay too, because she'll be able to grow into it. And the yarn I'm using the called for needles, which are a 3.5 millimeter and 4 millimeter, so a US 4 and a US 6. And I am using this yarn that I also got from that storage unit clean out. It is Twitchell Mills Country Knitting yarn, and it is a yarn done by Harrisville Designs, and I'm pretty sure it's discontinued now when I tried to look for it. And it's in the light gray colorway. It is 100% pure virgin wool, and it's, I mean, the yarn is nice enough, but I think sitting in a storage unit, and I don't know when it was purchased, has made it kind of crunchy. I should have washed it before I started using it. It kind of smells weird. So I'm hoping all of that comes out when I finish the sweater, wash and block the different pieces before I seam them together. Fingers crossed, it should be fine. But yeah, it's going a lot slower because I'm not in love with working with the yarn because it's kind of gross. And that's my own fault. I really should have washed the yarn before I started knitting the sweater, but I got impatient. I didn't want to wait for it to dry and stuff. And that is living right now. Ooh. Little throat tickle there. Excuse me. That is living in this bag. It won't be living in here for much longer because it's getting too big. My bags are always too small. This is a bag from Birch Grove. And there's her logo. It is her rainbow bag. I don't think she has them in the shop right now. It is just a drawstring. It's got these little leather ties with a bead on the end, and it's super cute. She's also a Canadian maker, which is awesome. I love supporting other Canadian makers. And yeah, I love it. It's super cute. The size is perfect for socks, which is what it's actually designed for. I just needed somewhere to stick the sweater and didn't feel like grabbing a different bag when I got this. So I have two more works in progress. One is a long-term whip that I have been trying to work on more, and it is in another twill and print bag. This is the Mama Bear backpack, and it has my little knitting gnome enamel pin on it. So this is from Twill and Print as well. It is huge. It has backpack straps that you can take off. You can attach them on the hooks on the side. It's convertible, and I love it. And living in here is my Garter Stitch baby blanket. And I'm calling it a baby blanket because I'm knitting it for my baby, but it's huge. It is nowhere near baby blanket size. It's gigantic. So it is like,
I can't even see.
It is humongous. It is longer than my 40-inch cable needle. And I am currently on the 6th color. I think it's the 6th. And baby's room is under the sea themed. So I'm starting with some darker blues and going into blues and purples and kind of tealy greens. These are all the colors that I'm going to be adding in. So there's some dark purples at the top, some of these tealy, purpley colors, and I'm holding it, so I'm holding one strand of the colors with one strand of this like light blue, light gray color. And the yarn that I'm using is Hobby's Rainbow 8/4 cotton. All right, so the color that I'm holding throughout is this light gray blue color, and it is color number 26. So I bought like a huge quantity, I think 20 of these, and then I have 19 of the other colors. So the color that I'm working with right now is, and I'm almost done, is this a little bit darker gray blue color, and it is color number 27. And as I add the colors in, I'll put them in the project page for if you want to see a specific color. So I started with, actually I'll show you the marker, which was where I left off last time. So this is where I was last time. So I finished off the color that I was on, and I'm almost finished this next color. I've been trying to work like 2 rows a day kind of thing on this. So I go back and forth, and then I've done at least some work on it. And this is the progress keeper that I'm using. It is, I got it from a club, a Lord of the Rings club. It is a skillet with second breakfast in it, from, where was it from? A Homespun House. She did a 3-month Lord of the Rings yarn and charm club that I participated in. So that is one of the charms that I got from there. I'll just move this progress keeper up so I don't forget. And yeah, so I started with this dark navy purple color, and it went to a few more. So I had 3 like dark blues, 3 or 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, well 3, and then this like blue gray, and then these 2 really light gray colors. I have 2 more like light grayish light blue before it goes into blue to green into purple, and I'm very excited to have it done. It will not be done before baby comes, because she is due to come very soon. So I'm going to just keep this upstairs in her room, so maybe I can get a few stitches done when I'm up with her at night and stuff. And I only have 1 more work in progress, which is a new cast on. So I decided this year, after watching Amanda of Birch and Lily last year working on the Handmade Sock Society, I decided to join in this year. And the Handmade Sock Society is a monthly like mystery sock pattern club thing by Helen Stewart of Curious Handmade. So she designs, I think it's 6 sock knitting patterns, and 1 gets released each month. So the first one came out in February. And so I'll get one February, March, April, May, June, and July. And February's pattern was the Curling Mist socks, and I cast them on and I love them. So when you get the pattern, you can see what the sock actually looks like. And right now it's all kind of squished because it's not blocked, but it is a ribbed cabled sock pattern. Let's see if I can. So this is what it looks like so far. It is just ribbed and cabled. And I have just a couple more rows before I start the heel. And I'm loving it. I love how they look. It's a little bit fancier than just a basic ribbed sock. They are super cute. And the yarn I'm using, so I'm knitting it on a 2.25 millimeter needle. I'm using this cake of yarn, which was a different sock that I was test knitting, but ripped out because it was way too small, and it ended up being too small for anyone that I knew, so I just ripped it out and rewound the yarn. So this yarn is from a dyer that is no longer dyeing anymore. It is from Red Fox Fibres, and she's also Canadian, I believe out of Alberta. somewhere west of me. And it is the True North colorway on her Wild Sock base, which is a 75/25 superwash merino nylon 4-ply. There are 463 yards to 100 grams. I don't know if you can see that. I'm finding it's probably just because I had knit with a whole sock with this yarn already and then frogged it, but the yarn is a little bit splitty, which is fine. More just slightly inconvenient, which is not the end of the world, but I am definitely will be working on these a lot more. At least the first one anyways. I'd like to try and keep up and get them done as they come out. I know once baby comes that'll probably not happen, but in the meantime, I can at least do 1 month. So I'm going to work really hard to get that done in February. My little stitch marker just broke, my progress keeper. And I'm losing all the stuff. Ah. Disaster has struck. So where did it go? The top of my lobster clasp had broken before. So I had just attached the jump ring that was attaching the lobster clasp to a light bulb stitch marker, but that's not gonna work. So now I'm just gonna attach the progress keeper itself, which is a sparkly sheep from Tiffany at Tool and Print, directly to that. So hopefully that works out okay now and I don't lose it anymore. So that was my last work in progress. I haven't done any spinning in a while and I don't know why. I think I'm just like afraid of ruining the nice fiber that I got. I don't want to like spend all this money and have this beautiful fiber that I really want to make something out of and then not be able to not get the result that I want. So I'm a little bit afraid. But I did get a couple of stash acquisitions. So Lindsay of Hello Stella was doing a de-stash of her personal yarn. And I'm pretty sure she donated proceeds to charity, a local charity to her. And so I decided they were mystery, it was a mystery de-stash. So you would buy either a single skein or a bundle and you didn't know what was in it. So I bought a 2 skein fingering bundle and a 2 skein DK bundle. So what I got was, and I'm super happy with it. What I got was, for the fingering, was 2 skeins of hedgehog fibers. And this is the first one. Oh, excuse me. So this is the first one. Look at all these bright, fun speckles on that. Ooh, a surprise hiding under the label. So I love this. This is the Cross My Heart. It is a 90% merino, 10% nylon sock yarn. There's 400 meters per 100 grams. And the colorway is Cross My Heart. This may have been from a club, but I don't know for sure. So I got that one and another hedgehog fibers on their twist sock base, which is 80% Blue Face Leicester and 20% nylon. And it is all these fun yellow with all these crazy speckles, which I will definitely be making a pair of socks for myself out of this. And the colorway is Fool's Gold. And there are 365 meters in 100 grams on this base. So it's a little bit heavier a base. And I love it. I love both of them. I'm super happy with what I got. And that was just perfect. Then for the 2 skeins of DK, they are the same. So I got, ta-da, 2 skeins of Woolberry Fiber Co. in the Berry Woolen base, which is a 100% non-superwash merino, and it is 260 yards per 100 grams, and the colorway for this is Fields of Lavender. So there's the details. Focus, there we go. And I love it. Purple is my favorite color. I just need to figure out what I am going to use them for. Does anyone have any suggestions? So I have 520 yards of this. If you have suggestions, let me know in the comments below for what I should do with this. It's super soft, so I'm not worried about like next to skin. I just have no idea. I don't often use DK weight, so I usually use worsted or fingering. So I have no ideas. Someone help me. Help. And I think that's it for my making as I look around at the disaster that is around me. Yeah, that's it. That should be it. This week has been, I guess, life update. I've been off work now for 2 weeks. Yes, I've been off for 2 weeks, or a week and a half. I've started my maternity leave as I wait for baby to come. So I've just been kind of hanging out, doing a little bit of baking, just trying to get things prepared and relax. And hide out because it's still COVID times. Can't go anywhere, can't have people over, things like that. So I've been doing that and then thinking about planning out my garden for the spring. I think I'm going to do a video all about my garden, how I'm planning it, what I'm planting in it, things like that. This will be my 2nd year with a vegetable garden, and it really brings me a lot of joy. Something I never thought I would say because my mom is a huge gardener and I always thought it was weird, and I always hated having to pick green beans in the summer and weed and things like that, but now I love it for myself. Apparently I'm turning into my mom, which is totally okay with me because she's awesome. And we also have a big garden at the cottage, which I don't really plan that at all. That's mom's thing, but yeah. So I think I'll do a separate video just about my garden. So if you don't want to or don't care about it, you don't have to watch it. Anyways, that is all for me for today. I hope you guys have a fantastic week. I should be able to. I'll try to record a video again next week. And after that, who knows? If not, it's not the end of the world. Have a great week. I will see you guys next time. Bye.